Hey, can you guys just go to the YouTube channel instead of using the Zoom? So I'm gonna paste the YouTube channel on here. So we are gonna use YouTube instead of the Zoom. All right. If it is the first time for you to come to join our class, and you click on the link and go to YouTube, because on YouTube is much more easier for me to do my screen and control everyone. All right. Can you guys hear me? All right, so I'm going to close the Zoom, and once we need to have the you have the question, and we will go to the using Zoom to talk. Okay, and usually it will be by the end of the class, and we use the Zoom, turn on the Zoom, and if you have any question or you find any funny things, just let me know, and you can go to the Zoom and we talk directly using the Zoom. But in our class, we will use YouTube. So yeah, I know some of you guys might be new today. So we learned from one website called w3schools.com, and in this website there's a tutorial called Learn Python. And you can learn Python, Java, C++, C#, machine learning, SQL, PHP, ASP, Node.js, Raspberry Pi, and maybe JavaScript, jQuery, React, AngularJS, whatever you want to learn, you can learn it from W3 Schools. It's very easy to get started, and I learned from this website, and then I can go further to the other harder course. So that's why I recommend you to use the W3 Schools. So every time I will click on the w3schools.com and go to Python, and from here, and we almost finish everything. We probably left is something called lambda or class, and also iteration, something like this. And the rest of them are just some library and how to use days or something like this. So not that much left for us. Okay. But before we are moving, I just want to show you this one. It's called Pi. Pi is, what is Pi? Pi is just we use this command to install something, like install a package, or you can say it's the library, or you can say it's just like you install a Chrome browser or install a game, and you just use your computer to install it. But for Python, we use something called pip to install the packages. Okay, so like here they install something called camel case. You just if you have installed this library, then you can use this library to convert all your tests to like camel case. So let me show you what is called camel case. It's just like you have a string like this, and then you will convert them to something like this. So every word they have the uppercase as the first letter. It's called camel case. And usually when we name a Python variable, we use this kind of style called camel case, or sometimes we use underscore to separate the word. All right, so I guess most of you guys already have the PyCharm installed, so I'm going to turn on my PyCharm. If you don't have PyCharm installed, you probably need to go to repair it. So again, if you are in Zoom, I want you to just go to the YouTube. Okay, I'm going to turn it off. All right. So if you use repair it, and you probably found that there's one icon here is called packages. So you click here, and you probably can search some package over here. Like what we found here is called camel case, right? So I'm going to just see if they have camel case. Yeah, so they can have the camel case. And once you have the camel case installed, and you can do import camel case, and let's see. So you have camel case, okay? But pretty sure you need to add it to your project. So you just add, after you add it, you can have the camel case library here. So I'm going to use it, see if it works or not. Once it's installing. Not sure why it's keep running here. It's yeah, it is finished. And now I'm going to just copy the same code over here from here and put it in our box. Just do the same thing. So once we install the camel case package, and I can do run. So it will change the hello world to camel case. Like the H is became from the small h to the, I mean from the lowercase to the uppercase for each word. So that's the way to do it on the repair it. And of course you can do it on the PyCharm. Like in PyCharm, you usually will open your folder. Like every time we open the folder in your desktop. So I have the folder called coding, and let me see. Sorry guys. And once you have the YouTube, and all right, sorry about that. So yeah, if you have the PyCharm installed, and you can do on your bottom area, if you I'm going to show you. So on the bottom area, like on here, you see there's something called terminal. You click terminal. But if you don't have PyCharm, you don't need to do this, right? So on here, you will see that on this terminal, there's something called VENV. what is VENV mean? It's just saying it's a virtual environment. So it's virtual environment. And you may ask, what is virtual environment mean? It's just like you're thinking it's just like a virtual computer. It's like a small computer for you, just for your own project, just like this coding project. Okay. So then you are going to use something called Pi. And now you can install the package called camel case. So I'm going to just type it for you. It's called Pi install camel case. All right. So once you install, and this package will install in just in this environment. All right. It will install here. Install somewhere here. All right. In just work for your environment, I guess. And once you have that installed, of course, you can do your coding just like what I did in the repair it. So let's try it. The first thing I will do is just create a file, like install, like just ins. Okay, ins probably just like Instagram, but here it's not. Okay, and I'm going to make the font bigger, like 18, maybe 22. Yeah, bigger. So what I am going to do, just copy the same thing, import camel case, and use the camel case to convert the text to the hello world with the capital H and uppercase W. So I'm going to run it. So I just click the menu run and go all the way to here, run. And now you can choose my INS. It stands for install or Instagram. It's up to you. And here's the result. It comes back on the run tab. Okay. So I just show you how to install something, use the Pi. And I usually want to install something like this package. If you like it, and you can do that, like something like this. I usually do the Google. And why I do the Google, because if I have a question, I will Google it and try to find some answer on online, right? So like for example, Python print color text. Okay, I will type print color text. So I just want to print some text with some colorful color here, like this hello world. It doesn't show anything, is boring, is black and white, it's pretty boring, right? So here there's a website called Stack Overflow, and it's a Q&A website. And this website will usually, if you have a question, you can just ask the question in this website, and someone that will help you. Okay. And of course, the first answer would be probably the best one, but I like the answer below here. Like for example, they have the package called term color or colored, and they also have a package called colorama. So yeah, which is the one I like. And you can just go to install it, and let me just click on this one, and I'll right click and go here, and it's something like this. Okay, and what this package do, it's just like if you can print different color, like red, green, yellow, blue. I don't know how to say this. and also a grade or something like this. So I'm going to just copy and paste and put this URL on the chat box, so you can go here, and now you can just click on this button, copy. Okay, and now you go back to your PyCharm and click on the terminal, and now you paste, just paste, or Control V, and now you can use pip install Colorama. So I just click and let it install, and now I install Colorama, and I can use this package. And of course, you can go to the repair it. You can go to repair it, and you can just search like the package. Back to the search, and you type Colorama. My spell is long. It's Colorama. And now you can see there's a Colorama here. You click on it, and now you add it, and now you add to the repair it. Now it's keep installing. And by the way, if you have some problem on the PyCharm, there's no pip command for you, and you should you probably need to install the pip. So the same thing, I'm going to just Google how to install Pi in on Windows or on Mac. Is up to you, since you have different environment. So yeah, you can go to install the Pi, and you follow this step, and you can install it. Or they should have some easy way to do that. And usually when you install the PyCharm, it should already install the pip for you. Okay, if don't, and we can work on that somehow later after this class. Okay, but I just give you two ways. If you work on the repair it, you definitely can just go to the package, this button, and use the search, and you can install Colorama. But it looks like it's taking a lot of time, and I just let it installing. Okay. At the meantime, I can show you on my PyCharm. So I already installed the Colorama. So I go back to the website and see what I can do with this. So for example, they said like just copy this code and see what happened. Just copy this code. I copied, and now I go back to my PyCharm, and I just replace everything, and now I'm just run it. So if we show you some color, and how to use it is easy, because the first one is just saying from this package I'm going to import a color called for the front like the font color, and they use this kind of called FORE. And for the background, and you can use background, or you can use different style. Okay, you use different style, and now what you need to do, just put the foreground you said is red, and then you are going to print something in red, and if you print all the way to everything will be red. But if you put something like here, bad green, and it will show you the background will be green. And here is the DIM, is just making something dim. Okay, and here is going to just reset everything and back to normal. So that's the way to install a package. And also you can read the document, very long, but it will give you some information how to use this package. And what this package do, it just like help you to decorate the color on your output text. Okay, so you just you have to install it from the terminal, and you also can do it in the repo, like here. Not sure why it's just keep installing. And someone just asked how to install the package on the repo. Well, it's easy. Just go to your left hand side and click the package, and now you should have something like search for a package, and on here, and you just type the package name called color rammer. My spell is long, and Colorama doesn't have an R, just Colorama. And now I choose it, and you can just have the button, click on the add button, and you will add it. And after you install, it's just saying installing here, and wait for a little bit, and just click on the black box and just type enter, and make sure it's finished the installing. And now you go back to the same page and copy and paste the same thing, like copy and paste, copy it, and now go back here and paste, and you click run, and it will do the same thing like what I did in the pie chart, like the output like this. Okay, all right, so that is just for you to make fun of your computer with Python. And there are a lot of funny packages over there, and once I have time, I will just look for them and give you a list. But today I just want to show you how to use the Py to install a package in repo or the PyCharm. And it's not our class, but yeah, it's just for your knowledge how to install using the Py for the Python. Okay, so let's just go back to our class. And what are we going to learn is just like we try to solve one problem. And our problem is like this. Let me show you. Let me open. What's our problem here? So think about that. I have a list of the number like 3, 5, 22, 99, and 6. Okay, so I have 5 numbers here, and could you tell me which one is the biggest number in this list? So this is almost a dummy question, right? And once you look into my list, you will say, oh, that's 99 because 99 is bigger than any one of them. Yeah, but that's good for you. But if we using this to we are using the Python to solve this problem. If I give you a list of number, and can you tell me which one should be the biggest number? in your list. So that's the question we are going to do. Okay, and let's think about like this way. Like for example, if your parent go to superstore and they might buy a bag of the apples, like apples. Like different kind of apple, like they have a lot. But they just buy a lot of apples, like. But different apple have different weight, right? But here, obviously my apple would be the same. But you can think about here you have like 6 apples, and now you want to know how to get the most heavier apples in these 5 apples. So how are you going to do that? You probably need a scale, right? You just go to use a scale, like and you can weigh them. You can weigh them, like different scale, you can weigh them, and then you can figure out that might be the biggest one and the heaviest one, and using a scale. But today, you don't have a scale like this kind of thing. You can read the number. You just have the scale like this. This kind of scale doesn't have the reader, doesn't have number. So what are you going to do? Just like I'm going to just put 1 apple here. Oopsie. Just put 1 apple here and put the second apple to the this side, and now you can see which one is the biggest one, right? And now you would do, hey, maybe this one is the heavier one, and now I get rid of this one and I come over to put this one here, this side. Okay, and you found that probably this one is the biggest one, and then I get rid of this one and put this one on this side. Until you go through all of them, you will find the heavier one by this way. And that's how we do with the Python. Okay, so we're going to use the code with the Python and try to solve this problem. And we have a list like 3, 5, 22, 99, and 6. Now, let me just remove all the code here. And I have a list like 3, 5, 22, 99, and 6. And I just have like bags, because I use a bag to hold all my apples. So in this bag, I will have a list. Okay, I will have a list like this. Like have different apple inside my list. In my list, they usually use a bracket, to wrap them, and then if you tell the Python, this one is a list. And this list in my bag, they basically stands for the apples. Okay, and now how am I going to compare my apple, like which one is the biggest one? And what you are going to do, just like compare the first one with the second one. If it came out the biggest one, and you will just keep that apple. And then you are going to compare this with the first one, and after that compare with the fourth one, and then the fifth one. All right, so basically that is easier, right? And the same thing if you're working on the repair it, and you will do the same thing, right? You know what I mean? So now you have the bad. Let's just compare the first one and the second one. So compare first with against the second one. Right? So which means the first one would be BAG, a bag, because we start from 0 in a list, and you compare if the bag 1 is greater than the bag 1, the index 1, which is the second one. Then you would say, hey, you would say the first one will be greater than the second one, then we will keep the first one. And now I will go ahead and compare with the third one. And after that, we will compare with the fourth one. And then we will compare with the fifth one. After we finish all of them, and now we will know which one would be the biggest one. All right? So what are you going to do is like, I have the first one and compare with the second one. Then if you go to do, if the first one is greater than the second one, and then I'm going to do just like continue to compare back. Our cost is 0. And now you will be, if greater than back 2 or now. And then you will continue just doing all the way to like back 0 is greater than back 3, right? Because every time when I compare, if the first one is the biggest one, it will just keep going to compare them. And don't forget there's something called else, right? If the first one is less than the second one, then you just like, hey, I need to compare back 1 with the back 2, and then you will do on each level. But you can imagine that if you're writing the code in this way, it's just like very dumb. But it's okay if it's the first time you try to solve this problem. You can just doing this. You will list all the possibilities. And if you're writing the a map on here, it would be like, for example, let's imagine you're comparing these two, and you will have the one of them, and now you will compare with this one. Go to next level, and then you will go compare with this one, and finally you will compare with this one. And so you can eventually get the biggest apple in your bag. And why do we need to do like this? Because your list maybe keep growing, like not just 5 apples. Probably your parent might buy like 100 apples. So we need some strategy to do that instead of just to really use the if else to compare all of them. So how are we going to do that? Let's just write a function which we already learned. Okay, so I'm going to just remove all my code here. So I just create a function called compare, just com, maybe something else, maybe com apple, or just com compare apple. Okay, And when you define a function, you have a name, just name it as you want, and you have a parenthesis which is going to hold some parameters. And now you would have the column. And now you go to the second line. Don't forget you should have leave some space, either 2 space or 4 space. Since I set 4 space here, okay, so it would be 4 space. You can change it to 2 space. Change the tab size to 2 space. All right, you can change it to 2 space, but it's okay, just 2 or 4. It's up to you. But you got to use space here. All right, so think about if you have a function and every time you put one apple, like apple 1, and the second apple 2, right? So if apple 1 is greater than apple 2, now you will return apple 1, right? Else, you will return apple 2. So you may think there might be the first case, if apple 1 is equal to apple 2, like if they are both like 5, and what will happen? And they are going to just return apple 2, okay? If apple 1 is equal to apple 2, it will return apple 2, okay? So by here we just have 3, 5, 22, 99, and 66. Now we just finished the function to compare 2 apples. So we are going to use a loop. We will loop through from the first one all the way to the last one. And now you would have compare all of them. Okay, so let's just do it like this. You can have a for loop, like let's just say we can go back to the W3 schools and see what kind of loop we can use. And usually you can just do while loop, for loop. It really doesn't matter. It's just like the syntax you are going to use. Like here, if you're going to use for loop, you just loop each one of them. Okay, so you can also do a range, like from 0 to 5. You can do the range, right? So what I want to do here is like I'm going to just do the range. I use the range, so I just have for I in range, and the range will be the bag, and how many apples in a bag. So we use the function called len. And now I'm going to just print an I and see how my I do. So I'm going to just run it. So you will see I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just like I will compare the first one with the second one, right? So what I want to do is just like I want to start from 1 to 4. You know what I mean? Because I don't need to compare the first one, because the first one will compare with the second one. So what I'm going to do is just like I put a 1 here, and from the range will be from 1 to 4, and I'm going to run it and see if it's just 1 to 4. Okay, just 1 to 4. All right. So once we are going to compare the apples, and we will return something, right? The biggest one. So I define a variable called like big apple or biggest apple. It's up to you. Let's just equal to 0. Okay. So first is equal to 0, or maybe is equal to the first one. How about the first one? So I use bad and then put 0 here. So I put the first apple, which is 3 here. Which is 3 here, because the first apple is 3. So I just put it in the big apple. It doesn't mean the first one it will be the biggest one. So now what I'm going to do is, like in my loop, I am going to compare. I'm going to compare the apple. Obviously, is like the big apple with my current apple. What the current apple is like I, the bad I. What does it mean here? It means, like, for example, in my result, if you see from here, the first I would be 1, right? So then this bad would be, this apple would be the BAG 1, which stands for this apple, the second apple. And if this function, after we call this function to compare my first apple with the second apple, I should return the bigger apple to the big apple. All right. So if you keep running in this loop, and then if this time I got the big apple, like in this case, it will be the second apple is number 5. Okay. And now if you go the index, the I will be 2, and then this bad would be BAG bad 2, and which would be 22. And now if you keep continuing, like 99 and 6 for here, but we always keep the big apple in this variable. And after we finish this loop, what will happen here? And we just output and see what's the big apple. Okay, so I'm going to just run it, and my function just show me 99. 99 is the biggest one. All right, so that's the way we can do our compare with a list of numbers, and we can find the biggest one, the biggest apple, the biggest number in a list. And in our question is going to find the biggest apples in our bag. All right, so I will leave you some time, and you are going to finish this code. And once you finish, please let me know. All right, after you finish, I will repeat what I did here. Hopefully you can get what I mean. If you don't, and please also put your question in the chat box. Once again, if you don't have PyCharm, you don't have to do it in PyCharm. You just do the same coding on repel it. Just like come over here to the repel it, and you remove all the code in the main.py, and you just type the same thing, and now you will run the same thing. 99, right? That is the biggest apple, 99, right? Since I already have the colorama, and you of course you can just print something, like put some color on that if you want. So I'm not going to mix with colorama, but you are more welcome to just put some color on your print. Like you import the 4, like this 4, and just 4.red or 4.green, 4.green, and then you will show something called green. And of course you can find all the color over here, right? All this color over here. And yeah, I want you to show me you have 99. Okay, if you don't have PyCharm, doesn't really matter. You just go back to the repel it and do the same code, and just compare your apple, and then you find the big apple, the golden apple. Okay, yeah, awesome. Let's see. We have Michael, Son, Eric, Helen, and Jay, Ali, and Dong, and everyone just finished, and it's awesome. And also Jerry. All right, so yeah, I think you guys are getting better, and do the code very, very fast, and even faster than me. Yeah, and now we just know how to compare each of them, and then find the biggest apple in a bag. Yeah. Yeah, I think Mr. Game New have a very good question, and is saying, how about if you don't know how many apples in your bag? Like if you don't know, but if it's still in a list, and it's just like you're using the function called len, it will tell you how many number of the apples in the bag. And let me just rephrase all the code, because I know it's a bit hard, and only you have joined the CCC lesson, you probably know what does it mean, because we use a few techniques here. The first one is we use a function to compare it. We define a function, and this function to compare two apples. So you have apple 1 and apple 2, and after you call this function, it will go back to give you the bigger apple, either 1 or 2, maybe 2, maybe 1. All right, because that's the way to return it. And of course, the first one, we put the first apple here, because I don't need to compare the first one, right? Because I only put the first one into the big apple, and so that we compare from the second one. So we use something called range, and which means we will output 1 to 4 or 1 to 4. So which means is from the here to 5 to 6, 5 to 6. And array type in every loop, like this loop, and you will have the bed and I, and this I keep changing an array loop, right? It will change like 1, 2, 3, 4. And every time we call the function, and it will return the bigger apple into the big apple, into this variable. And after we finish this loop, you will get the big apple after this loop, right? So I know it's hard for you to understand, maybe like, hey, why I have the big apple and put the first one to the big apple, and then you put it into the parameter for this function, and then you come back and you put it into the big apple, because the big apple is just a variable, is going to help you to store the value inside this variable. We just name it called big apple, so you can print big apple here. All right, so now you can just expand the apple list, like let's just do 777 or 212 or 456 and 0 or -5 or even, well, there's no apple is -5, so we have probably just like 10 and 22 again, or 4. And now you expand your bag, expand your apple, and see, you run it one more time and see if it can return the biggest apple or not. Like here is 777, and that's what I want you to try out to test your program and see if you can return the biggest one or not. Okay. And for your homework, right now we are finding the big apple, right? So I want you to find the smallest apple. Of course, you know how to find the biggest one, right? How about you find the smallest apple from the list, and here obviously is free, and see if you can change your program. Instead of return the biggest apple, you return the smallest apple in this list. Okay, so that's for your homework. Okay, and I'm going to take a picture of this. I'm going to take a picture of this. Okay. Now, let me just remove this and go back to the find apple question. And since we already learned the dictionary, so if the apple, each apple is not just a number, because here the number obviously stands for the weight. Okay, then how about I use a dictionary to stands for one apple. Like the first one, I have the weight. Okay, this weight. The weight is 3, right? And the second one, of course, is weight, right? It's weight. And the third one, and you will use a dictionary called weight. Now, again is weight, and this dictionary have weight. So we use a dictionary and put it into my bed, and I have a key called weight, and now it had 3 pounds, maybe now 3 grams. Okay, and I also have something called color. How about this color is red? All right, because that is the key, that is the value for the dictionary. So in this dictionary, you have red, and you have color, you have weight, you have 3 grams. Let's say just 3 grams. And now you have color, and it's green, right? And you also have a color, and it's 0, just 0. Okay. Also, this color would be what kind of apple, right? Red green. Let's just say red green. Okay, red green, whatever. And then I have a color called brown apple. Now you see we change our apple, like from just a number, just one number stands for weight, to use a dictionary to stands for one apple. And in here we still want to find the heaviest apple, but once we want to print it out, we want to print the color of the apple. So how am I going to do that? Now the apple is not just a number. An apple is a dictionary. Why we use a dictionary to stands for an apple? Because we want to put color here, or you may put the like the brand of the apple, like the category of the apple, or whatever you want to put more information into your apple. So that's why we use a dictionary to hold the apple. And now I just add a color here. So I want to find out which apple is the biggest apple and what kind of color of my apple. So hopefully you understand what I mean here, because we just learned the dictionary. We put a key and a value, and here the key is a color, and then here's the value is red, and here is the weight, and here is 3. So in order to compare our apples, I have to get the weight to compare them. For example, in my function, I have 2 apples, right? So if you want to see which apple would be the bigger apple, what you do is like you would do weight to compare the other weight. All right. So once you change this code, because every apple would be a dictionary, it's a dictionary. And in order to access the value 6, like here, the weight, you have to use a bracket and use this apple weight to get to the weight. And now you compare them. So let me just run my code here and see what happened. And now my return is like color is red green and weight is 99, and which is the 4th apple here. But I just want to show the color, so how am I going to show it? You will do the same thing here, the big apple, and the key is color, and now you can run it. Now you would get red green apple. Right? How about I just give you like 3 minutes or 5 minutes, you are going to finish your code, and of course you would have the big apple here, a bed of apple, and divide by the dictionary. And I'm going to set my font is smaller, and so you can see my code. And once you finish, and that's it for today. Let me just do 12. Yep, much more small. All right. And don't forget to figure out how to print the smallest apple in the homework, okay? Yeah, the homework is going to find the smallest apple, like here, like this one, and you're going to tell me which one is the smallest one. Like obviously you can see it's 3 here, but how about if you don't know the number using the Python to find the small apple? That's for your homework. And of course this one is for your challenge, because and we use dictionary here. You're probably not that good at the dictionary, but yeah, you still try to finish this code, like convert your apple from just the number to a dictionary. Now you have a big apple. You find the big apple, the color of the big apple instead of the weight. Right? Once you are finished, you are good to go. And also, if you have any question, I'm just turn on my Zoom and you can ask me the question. Okay. Yeah, if you know how to find the smallest apple, and please send an email to help@dataarea.ca. So I can know you finish it. And if you know the answer, don't tell the others. Okay, please. All right, seems no one joined no one have the question, so I'm going to just start my Zoom. Awesome.